Feeling guilty, allowing yourself to feel guilty about relying on convenience or unhealthy foods adds unnecessary stress for parents. Instead, allow yourself some of these indulgences without the guilt. For me, needing to rely on foods like that, I used to feel a lot of guilt over that. I used to feel like I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't doing what I needed to really give my kids the best start that I could and to help them develop the healthiest relationship with food that I could. And when I needed to rely on dining out or prepackaged meals, I felt a measure of guilt. But I have come to realize that that is misplaced and not helpful. It's certainly not helpful for me, and I would argue that it's not helpful for you either. But relying on convenience foods or dining out doesn't mean that you have to necessarily give up on your goal of healthier foods or balance or moderation or any of those other goals that you have. And if those are goals that you share, there are a few things that you can do when you consider convenience foods or dining out options. And I wanted to talk about some of those today. First thing to think about is how you can use part of or an item of convenience and pair it with something that is perhaps a little more fresh. One example, I use this example all the time in our house, is frozen pizza. We often will use frozen pizza when we're in a pinch or when we have pizza and movie night and I haven't had time to buy the ingredients for us to make our own pizzas. But what I often do when I'm using a frozen pizza is I will buy a cheese pizza and we will put our own toppings on top of it. It limits things that we may not want to be eating in excess, and it gives us a little bit more control over the foods that we put onto those pizzas. So think about convenience foods that you can pair with other foods that you are making more quickly. If you are eating out, and you have the ability to make a choice on a dining option that has fresher foods or foods that are prepared right in front of you, or foods that allow you to create your own meal. Lots of options for creating a meal to suit your tastes, as well as meet your nutritional standards and flavor preferences. If you have the time and energy and have planned ahead for those nights that you know it is going to be crazy and you simply will not have time to prepare something and you need a quick and easy meal, you could always double a batch of something earlier in the week and use that later. I have a pot of soup in the refrigerator because Wednesday is going to be bananas. We often rely on meals that don't require any cooking, putting out a spread of vegetables, nuts, olives, meats, cheeses if we have them, things that we can quickly and easily pull out of the refrigerator, chop up, put on a board, and eat. This is a great way to get something done relatively quickly that doesn't require cooking. It's flexible. It allows everybody to have a little bit of something that they like, something that they're willing to eat, gives kids, an opportunity to try things that they might not otherwise, and it gets food into our bellies in short order. If you are a meat eater, like our family is, one of the things that I will often rely on where I really want help getting something on the table quickly and I don't have a lot of time to make it myself is a rotisserie chicken. This can either be eaten as is and paired with something, even raw vegetables straight out of the refrigerator, or it can quickly and easily be turned into something else without the added step of needing to roast the chicken. So rotisserie chickens, again, if you are a meat eater, this can be a game changer for getting a meal on the table quickly. Just this week in making our own menu, I realized the only way dinner was coming together on Thursday is if we relied on quick, easy, on-the-go options. We have too many activities back to back in different parts of town. But that's okay, because the rest of the week I have taken time to either prepare what I can ahead of time so that we can eat something quickly that doesn't need to be prepared that day, or because we actually have time to sit down and eat as a family. And over the course of the week, we will hit the kind of balance that I'm hoping for. Remember that one meal does not define your family's overall eating habits, and you can still focus on balance and moderation even when relying on these convenience foods.